How is going, Otis?
Pretty good.
Fresh from their bakery. Thanks, man.
Okay. Okay. Does somebody want to try and see if the Babycastles Twitch is actually twitching? It looks like it is. It looks like it is.
And the Wi-Fi is, you can get on it, it's a Hack Manhattan or Hack Manhattan BC. There's no password.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, that's actually where we put up the
Let's try to go to events.
So while he's setting up, I might as well just introduce myself. And so my name is Andrew Garahan. I'm helping to host the group, and this is John.
John Bruno.
John Bruno, and John Bruno will be leading the discussion this evening. So basically the concept is of this club. It's kind of like a regular book club where like everyone reads a book during a month. And then at the end of the month, you get together and you kind of talk about it. So that's the core concept for the game. I mean, for the group. And so this is the first meeting. But yeah, each month we're going to try to do a different game. And so at the end of the meeting, a normal meeting typically will probably be like we take 15 minutes to kind of get started and say like, hello, this is what's going on. Then someone will lead the discussion for about maybe 45 minutes. So that'll be the person who's like hosting that game. So if somebody else in the future is interested in like hosting a specific game, then they would be the person that kind of advocates for that game and then also leads the discussion for that particular game. And then at the very end, we'll reveal what the next game is for next month. So hang around for the reveal. So it's I don't know if it's not really a controversial one, but it's more modern. It's a more modern game than the one we're playing tonight.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess I'll get started. I think we're still streaming. I minimized my window. I hope it didn't kill it at all. Hey guys, welcome to Babycastles' first Game of the Month Club. So this month we played Another World, also known as Out of This World, which was released in the early 90s, and it came out on a bunch of systems, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Amiga. And this is sort of hailed as a classic game, mostly because of its unique interaction and its cinematic presentation. And a lot of the ways they did that is they started introducing this idea of cutscenes that wasn't really prevalent in those days. They also did something really revolutionary where they got rid of the HUD completely. So there's no score. You don't see anything other than like your viewpoint on the character. And another thing they did is they broke the two-dimensional plane of the regular platformer in a lot of ways. And you guys have all finished this game, right? For the most part? Okay.
Yeah, who actually completed the game?
Okay. So yeah, so if you're here, things might get spoiled. But so there's a scene that really drew my attention, which is after they crash land from escaping from the gladiator arena when they're in the tank, right? And these guys start shooting at them from all directions. They come up in the foreground as well as the background. And there's nothing you can do about these guys that are trying to kill you on planes that has a platform that you can't actually get to. But they still did that to kind of add to this to add depth to this thing, this cinematic feel. All these segments here were rotoscope, so it was really similar to games like Prince of Persia. I think Prince of Persia came out a little bit before.
What year? This is 1994, I think?
No, it was earlier than
It was
4.
earlier.
1990 or 92, I think.
Yeah.
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 2013 on Steam.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe because this is our first meeting, we should kind of like go around and introduce ourselves. And what I'm thinking is maybe like say your name and also like one of the like first impressions you got from playing this game.
Or favorite moment.
Or favorite moment. That's a really good one. Yeah, impression or moment.
So my name's Roman, and I will admit I played the game on an emulator for Super Nintendo, but I didn't really get awfully far. So I ended up just last night watching a bunch of let's plays of it to see the endings, just so I could have something to talk about. And because I was just like got super frustrated with the controls with the for the gunfighting, and ended up being like, forget this, my blood pressure's high enough already. So my favorite moment would be basically what John was talking about with after the gladiator arena, you crash land in the bathhouse with all the naked aliens, diving under the water as your escape pod comes in, and that would sort of cinematically be my favorite moment. As far as the gameplay goes, my favorite moment when it was over.
You don't have to hit all the points. Like that's a pretty good one.
Anyway, yeah. So let's keep going.
So just to kind of tail off of like the crash landing in the bathing, that was one of the things that was censored on the Super Nintendo ports.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit too much alien butt.
Yeah.
And so they had to like bring the crack down a little bit.
So my name's Ali, and my favorite moment, I gotta say, narrative-wise, not necessarily gameplay-wise, was the ending when they crash landed on the whole monkeys area, and then when they had the fight with the big guy, and he was trying to kill the protagonist, and then his friend came in to rescue him, and then he just sort of he pulled the lever and he melted him with this big beam. And then when they got to the top and escaped on the dragon, that was my favorite moment narrative-wise. But gameplay-wise, there was a lot of tension behind the moment where there's a bunch of guards following you and they're blasting all these doors. And then you're just running away. You're just trying to get to escape. You're trying to get to your friend so he can pull you out. That was pretty intense. And it took me quite a bit of tries, but I got there.
Awesome. So you really like the dynamic between the two characters.
Yeah. Even though there's literally no dialogue between them, you could feel like they're pretty...
they were friends, yeah.
Even though they just met each other.
Bros.
Yeah.
How you doing? I'm Chris. I remember when I first played this game when I was little, and there's a lot of moments I really like about the game, but I always loved the parallaxing. It was so chaotic when I first saw that. You just don't see that with platformers back then, and I was so impressed. Just like it just really added to the anxiety of it. I think one of my favorite parts to drive like my roommate's nuts is like us blasting the sound. Right in the beginning, when you're still in the cage, and you're just like, you don't have to swing it all the way so you fall off. You just swing it just enough to piss off the guards. I just keep doing that just every once in a while. Like, I was watching TV or something, and finally, like, roommate comes in. What the fuck is that? Shut up. I'm sorry, but it's like trolling.
When did you play that? Was that on an emulator at the time?
When I first played it was SNES.
Yeah.
But then I tried it out on friends' Amiga.
I think that's what I played it on too. I mean, I had a Super Nintendo when I was younger, but I mean, it wasn't on my list of games that I wanted to buy or pay $60 for.
Yeah, it was a totally different experience on the Amiga though. There's just so much.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know you could kick.
Were you like hopping over?
I probably died against these little things more than I've died anywhere in the game.
Oh shoot! I didn't run fast enough.
I was just like, I've got to jump over them and I got to get the timing right. That's basically it.
Awesome. So back there. Yeah.
My name's Mike. I think probably the moment that, like, I didn't play this growing up. Like, the first time I played it was about 3 days ago. I think the moment that stuck out to me was at the very, very beginning, going through the cutscene, the rotoscope cutscenes at the beginning, and then your desk is zapped away, and you're in the water. And I'm just watching it as it drifts down. I'm like, okay, it's still in a cutscene. And it's like, oh, you died. Oh, shit. I was waiting for the game to start. Apparently, it already did. I just really like the way that it blended that cutscene with the gameplay so seamlessly. Like, I was expecting, like, a 1991 SNES era game, and it's just like, oh, no, this is actually doing something, like, without, completely HUDless blending the cutscene and the gameplay.
Oh, and he keeps running.
That tiny little scratch just he's done.
Yep.
He's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably poison.
So I couldn't get any controllers working, so I'm trying to play on keyboard right now. So that's my excuse.
Yeah. So, what was your experience with the game?
My name is Jason. I didn't actually play this game.
Okay.
I just dropped it right there.
Have you ever heard
This is
of
cool,
it?
'cause I love this game. Yeah, actually, it just reminds me of Heart of Darkness.
Yeah. So there's a reason why it might remind you of the Heart of
It
Darkness.
seems like Heart of Darkness is inspired by this, right?
Isn't the guy?
It's the same guy. So Heart of Darkness, the guy made Heart of Darkness later. It's like his. So he doesn't make games very often, but it was like his other
Oh,
game.
he made another one.
Yeah.
Was Flashback made by the same guy?
No, but it was made by the same company. So Interplay and Delphine did it, but it wasn't the same game creator. And I have a feeling that porting this might have inspired them to do Flashback.
My name's Jonathan. Probably my favorite scene out of everything in the game is just that one part where you get out of the cage and then you finally get over to the cage, but then there's like the one tower. And there's the elevator that you can go up and down. You go up to the top and then you walk over a little bit to the right and you see like there's that little just like that ceiling grate. You look through it and you just see like the vastness of just this world that you walked into, and it just kind of gives you this feeling of just like, whoa. Oh, you don't expect the scale of the game until like you actually get to that point, and then you realize like, oh snap, I'm in this completely different world. Just all this stuff across.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up if nobody mentioned it. Like it doesn't really add to the level, right? Or you don't. It's just a nice little like extra, almost not even really an Easter egg, but it's sort of on that vein where
it gives you a good scope
Yeah.
in the world, like a sense of scope there, and it's just like this really interesting. It's like, probably just like that kind of scene probably hadn't been done so much since like
It also makes me like in that scene. It feels like you're looking out onto that arena at the end, so it's almost like a place that I'm gonna be, or a place where I can get to. Like,
Yeah.
Gameplay-wise, probably, I did enjoy like that whole cave section where you're kind of working through the cave and there's the toss at the top, the toss entrance, and then there's a certain point where you have a wall that you break, and then it's just that like dead end. So you go back and then like probably like 15 minutes later you like come around and like where the water gets emptied, and then there's the one spot you're supposed to cross. Then you realize like, oh wow. So this is how this kind of related. So he kind of gave like this little bit of like made the world feel a little bit bigger by just by making this cool little thing where he was just like reusing this place he went through, but instead it's in the water. Cool idea.
Did anybody try shooting the little thing that held up the water before they knew what to do?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Oh right.
I thought it was just my controls being clunky that I couldn't outrun it.
I got stuck in that point. I thought it ended up being a red herring for me because I kept on trying to shoot it and then go, and then I was running, and I would get to the next section, but I wouldn't have completed the previous section, and then I would die because it's like really too close, and then I'd be thrown all the way back like 3 minutes of progress, and I kept on doing that.
yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that for like 30 minutes. Also, it was just going down the wrong direction.
So kind of like a nostalgia memory, but like when I first played this as a kid, I remember like going up to that beam and seeing like, oh, I wonder if I could shoot this. And then of course like the water comes up and I drown. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like, of course, like the water's gonna flood and just kill me. Oh, did you want to? Yeah.
I'm Leo, and my favorite part of the game, gameplay-wise, was in the portion after you knock down the water, when you're getting into the areas where there's various different guys in the rooms. And you try to when you try to exit the room, and then a guy comes up and knocks you out. I got a little bit frustrated at that point because I was just like, oh, okay. Oh, if I press a button, I kick him and I can run. And then I kept on trying to run towards the exit, and then I kept on getting killed. And then I tried putting the shield up like right as he was coming so that I would punch him and then I would run, and then hopefully the shield would take the bullet, but it didn't. But then eventually I figured out, oh, I have to go get the gun. And then when I went for the gun, you did the crazy dodge roll. The guy.
One shot.
Yeah, and then I get the achievement that says cowboy. And I was
Yeah, that scene was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was epic.
And I guess cinematically, right after the gladiator crashes, like those next 3 screens I think were really cool because of how the lasers were in both the foreground and the background shooting at you, and then the immediate small gameplay portion has is very time reliant and it's very it's like the least clunky part of the game, and that was really enjoyable as like a final sequence.
Yeah, so like unlike a lot of games like this, the single button is an action, and that action changes depending on your situation. And and if you're in a situation where you're being like held up, that action button is like a nut kick.
Yeah. So what happened in the back? Why don't we take it way back? Wait, we'll start in the way back.
Hi, I'm Nick, and it's been however many decades since I played this, but just came by to hear what I could of the conversation, and hopefully I'll do my homework.
Well, you played it a long time ago.
I did, yeah.
So what do you remember about it?
Mostly really the, I guess the adventure platformer sort of nature of it and the visual style. Yeah.
And what did you play it on originally?
I imagine it was PC.
Yeah. Oh, here's the scene.
I just did it,
You
yeah.
already did it? Okay. Great.
I'm Carl. I didn't make it all the way through the game. I couldn't get out of the jail. I got to the part where you go up in the tower and like look out on the landscape below. But I couldn't really get past that. Like trying to get like you're going up and down in the elevator and like there's a door that you have to get open somehow. I couldn't get that. I didn't do that. Yeah, this part.
Yeah.
Right now.
So yeah, there's like a panel. There's like little bits of electricity going up and down here.
Right.
And if you get there and you shoot that, then it lets you get in the other door.
Oh, I was doing that. Maybe that's just a bug in the because I've been playing this on the iOS version.
Mhm.
And it doesn't. Yeah, you shoot that, and that's like the only thing you can do. But then the door doesn't open.
I got that too. It worked out for a bit.
Really, it never worked for me.
Oh.
I've been trying to get past that for like.
Were you waiting for like this door to open?
Yeah.
Oh, so this one doesn't open. You blast it with your gun.
Oh, I
I think-
blasted it. Like, do you have to just blast the?
Oh wait,
the shit
I think
out
I
of
screwed this one up. Because now that guy's gonna shoot me when I go down. I did it wrong.
Oh, your buddy died too.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I got hung up.
Okay.
But I tried playing it on iOS and I tried playing it in an Amiga emulator. And wow, that Amiga emulator, the Amiga version is like way tougher. Even just like the emulator, like also goes so far as to emulate the load times of floppy disks, and even include by default the sound of the floppy drive spinning.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
So that really gave it. That was really like, whoa, shit. Yeah, I'd forgotten about this aspect of like playing games on floppy disks. Yeah, I didn't actually play past this point, but I've watched like playthrough videos of this thing like many times before actually trying to play it myself, and it's just the style of it is so unique that it just sort of like I really wanted to like dig in and experience it more and like find out what other people like find out what other people think, because it seems like something that like sort of like current generations of gamers like don't really like it seems like something that's sort of like fallen by the wayside almost. It's like people who know gaming history really know this thing, but like
This would be the grandfather to, I mean, Heart of Darkness, which was not a very popular game, but there's other games that
It was a bit childish. Like, this is actually way more like.
It's childish, but like I saw like Let's Play of it, and the deaths are very gruesome.
Scarier and is childish. That's the thing. You know, I'm more afraid playing it, but this is more.
And like the monsters, both the good and the bad ones, are like in this like really weird, like almost body horror-esque type creatures that just make you feel uncomfortable no matter what side of it. It's really bad.
I mean, we brought up Fallout earlier, which feels a lot like this game. It sounds like it's made by the same studio, but not the same designer. Do you guys think this feels like Abe's Oddworld at all, or it's a little too different?
Yeah.
It's a little too far away from Abe's Oddworld.
No, I think Oddworld definitely has a lineage that goes back to this.
Mm-hmm. It's also in another world.
Another Oddworld.
Well, wouldn't like all the this Heart of Darkness, Abe's Odyssey, and wouldn't they all like have like a kind of like lineage coming from Dragon's Lair or like Space
Yeah.
Odyssey? The cinematic platform.
Yeah, the guy that made this actually did mention Dragon's Lair as like something that's sort of an inspiration. Whereas Dragon's Lair is like you had to hit the button right at the right time.
I was thinking sort of a Dragon's Lair, sort of learning from your death vibe from this.
Yeah.
Because that's sort of how you had the whole game is trial and error. It gives you no real indication of what you're supposed to do. You just sort of die and figure out as you die how to progress. So getting even more contemporary, something a game like Dark Souls, I think owes quite a bit to this mode of trial and error gameplay as well.
Yeah, because you like you don't know anything. You just know that your action button does nothing, and you can move left and right. So you just like play with the controls in whatever situation you're in, and then when you die, you go, "Oh, that was the wrong answer."
I mean, I guess that my big criticism of this game would be that there is only really one right answer for every situation. When you have a game, like going back to the contemporary example of Dark Souls, there are multiple ways to do pretty much everything in the game. There's no one set way to do anything. Whereas in this game, every puzzle has one solution, and it's up to the player to sort of examine, figure out this singular solution through trial and error, as opposed to having a world which is more open and there are multiple ways to get around. And I guess that part of that might have just been the limitations of the platform at the time. It could have been a conscious design choice to have it be sort of in the vein of like a Sierra adventure, where every puzzle has a singular solution.
Yeah. Regarding the limitations of this game, the graphics are much different than other games from its time period.
Oh yeah.
I don't see a lot of games that even look like this.
The graphics remind me a little bit of Prince of Persia, with just the way that the way that like the walk cycles and the majestic motions look. That I wonder if they did it because Prince of Persia they they filmed a guy running and jumping, right, and then like animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, rotoscoping.
Yeah.
Yeah, they rotoscoped it in, and I wonder if they did if any of Another World was done the same way.
Some scenes were done rotoscoped. Most of the cut scenes were. So like opening the soda, grabbing the gun, definitely were.
Right.
I don't remember if I think he tried to do it with the guy, but then maybe changed it later when he was actually like tweaking it.
Yeah, if you play the PC port, you can have the updated graphics, which is really jarring in my opinion because basically everything that functions in the game is essentially the same as the older graphics, but everything else is like newer, higher resolution art, and it's really creepy. But in the higher resolution version, you can just like switch it with a button.
Yeah, like if you click P right now, you can switch the graphics.
What should I switch? Click P?
You're probably not going to be able to see a big difference in this Dark Souls.
You'll get it like if you get to some place that has actual things on it.
Yeah. I'm not just rolling around in the dark.
If you put it in the high res, you'll notice that like the character and everything is just a series of polygons.
Yeah.
And when
they have lighting too.
Oh.
Yeah.
But when it's pixelated, all those polygons give it this fall rotoscoped look to it. That I
Yeah.
think was real. That was like perfectly made for the era and the technology.
Yeah, because it looks kind of janky. Some of the animations when it's at high res, but it looks super smooth.
Yeah, it looks super smooth in low res.
So yeah, like one of the things I noticed playing in high res is that I could actually see the polygons, whereas when I played in low res, because of the pixelation of them, like they don't stand out as much.
No, I have a question. Are
Yeah.
these actual polygons?
Yeah.
Or is this like sprite rendered 2D?
This is another kind of revolutionary thing where when he was trying to figure out how to fit the whole thing together, he started playing around with polygons. So it's one of the first polygon games, and they're all they're 2D flat polygons that everything's animated in.
How did he animate? Like, I think of animating in Flash, and that had like a timeline. Is he like?
I think he
is
wrote
he,
his
like,
own.
writing the dots. And,
He wrote his own thing, and there's actually, I was thinking today it would be cool. There's with the Steam download, there's a little behind the scenes featurette. It's like 20 minutes long. So I was thinking after the discussion we could watch that, and then he talks a little bit about the animation process. Yeah, how far did we get? Did we get to
Sure. Hi, I'm John. I didn't finish the game. I thought it was beautiful but infuriating. I'll talk about my least favorite moment. After dying for about like the 10th time in that jail sequence, and then realizing I needed to like swing the cage again every single time I died, which is like a 20-second thing. And then after like the 10th time, I was like, I'll just come.
And there's actually an achievement for dying a lot. It's called determination. The game knows that you won't stop until you get to the test. And
I think I remember I got determination for me, but it was it was like right after that whole cave sequence, and there's that really steep drop, and I was just kind of trying to figure out just how to get to one of the lower levels, and then eventually it's like after like I think the fourth time I drop, I just get the achievement for determination. I'm like, oh, thanks.
yeah, I got it during the what's it called, the water sequence. Yeah, that was annoying.
I got mine right before the water sequence with the whatever the crab things from the floor. I kept on trying to figure I kept on getting frustrated with that area and just trying to like speed run it, and the game really does not want you to go fast. So
it's possible to go fast. I mean, I saw a person beat this in 8 minutes.
Oh, really?
It's a speed run on YouTube.
Oh, that's crazy.
That would be a reason to get good at the game, because I imagine that's a good feeling to just beat the game without dying.
But I mean, I guess that the way the game's made, that's an 8-minute run is perfectly possible, just because there's no real branching in it. It's all it's a very linear sequence. Once you know what the sequence is and you get the timing down, that's it.
Yeah, but it's not like Mario. Like people doing the Super Mario speedruns, like they really go in depth about.
I mean, the question which I have is how much depth is there to go into in this game?
I guess not a lot, which makes it good. But like,
Yeah, it's sort of
obsessing over it, you know? You're gonna obsess over it.
Yeah, there's one path through the game. There's only one possible way.
Oh, I hated those
If you run and if you run jump, you can get through the first area the first area locked. So that
If you run jump.
yeah, if you just run and just mash jump, you won't die. But then you have to stop at the section part.
Yeah.
So if Mario's a platformer, what is this? What genre is this? This is like a puzzle platformer.
I think there's definite puzzle elements, like this bat, for instance. Like, I'm the guys that got past this place, you have to stand here and shoot the bat, and then have the bat fly over and get eaten by the tentacles so that you can cross that area.
That's very Sierra adventurous-esque, There are definitely those moments that remind me of it sort of calling back to King's Quest or Space Quest or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But in a very non-verbal way, which is one thing I found interesting about it, is that there's really, aside from the intro where the computer talks to you, there's no text, no dialogue in the game.
Yeah, you really feel like you're playing the main character. It's usually with a Sierra adventure game, it's like point and click adventure. And so either you have Mario or you have no narrative, or you have like a point and click adventure. You have a lot of narrative but no actual feeling of actually doing it. And this game seems to blend the two. Like when I got the cowboy achievement, I really felt like I and like turned over, grabbed the gun, and shot the guy. And then I got shot by the other guy.
So I want to talk about this part. Actually.
Okay.
This was yeah.
Yeah, this part, or the cave section of the game, the entire section, not just this part, it made me think that the game had branching to it because there was 2 paths that you could go through. But I was wrong, so I did the water bit a million times, tried to kill the guards, and always got defeated by them. So, and I restarted at the part where you're at the cave. So I thought, oh, I have to do the water part again, and then I have to go to the guards again, and all that stuff. It was annoying. It was like I thought the checkpointing was awful, and then I found out soon after that is there's no branching. I was just doing it wrong. I was supposed to go through this part first, and then go back and do the water bit.
Yeah, like
It was kind of confusing.
Yeah, I got stuck here as well, and like the main thing that really messed me up at this point was that like this was the first part of the game where there was actual backtracking, and like up until this point of the game there was literally 0 backtracking like the entire game. So I was wondering like, did I mess up somewhere because I hadn't reached a dead end, and like why would I go back? You haven't gone back in the game yet, so and that had me waste an hour. In this section.
You gotta run.
That guy's gonna eat.
You gotta run. You gotta run and jump and run in front of you.
Well, there is a way to make the game unwinnable by not breaking that wall, right?
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't save and put you in a spot that you can't redo that, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
Is the saving actually new? Because I feel like I remember getting stuck.
You just have the password.
There was passwords.
Yeah. And I know for the Steam release, they like added more checkpoints.
Yeah,
So they
yeah, they added more checkpoints, definitely.
Even those checkpoints are pretty.
Sounds like it's pretty brutal that you have to sacrifice this bat. That has done nothing to you. As a matter of fact, if you see the ending, you kind of feel bad about this. I won't spoil it.
Yeah, this was rated T for teen, or well, I guess it wasn't rated. Like when it originally came out, it wasn't rated.
I don't think when it originally came out.
For alien butt and bat sacrifices.
Yeah.
So this is a very adult world. There's death around every corner.
It's not like cartoony about it, or
Animations
over the
every
top.
single time you die are wonderful. Especially like when you get your leg caught and it's just like you just have these claws that just take up the screen. That
Oh
just,
God, yeah.
Yeah, this goes back to the old dragons there, I think. My first impression of this game was exactly that. It wasn't really a platformer.
Yeah, that and specifically with getting caught by the ceiling claw thing.
Yeah.
The sound effect in that was like really gruesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Like I remember being frustrated, but at the same time, like laughing half the time, like at the different deaths.
The thing I really liked about the deaths is like the game, like there's no score, there's no music really, but like the sound effects, especially like when you hit a fall, and like this one's just like that, like is very kind of visceral and so out of place. I really love these like, oh yeah, you fucked up.
Also, the death is instant, like a Dark Soul or
Oh.
like
I think you want to die at least once in every scene.
Yeah, just to see what happens. Oh,
Yeah, but I never did that intentionally.
You know, it's weird that you die so fast in the water here, but later on you can hold your breath for like 10 minutes underwater.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
I think part of it is you're running from this like torrent versus just like swimming in like a still pool.
It's like they thought about it more than you.
So apparently in the older versions there was a meter for the breath. That was like the only instance of like having a HUD in the game. Is that I don't know if like Mario or the SNES. Is that like a thing where you're like
Yeah, I don't actually remember that, but I wouldn't doubt it.
It seems really interesting considering like the entirety of the rest of the game. It's just, you don't have a HUD element or anything except for this one little thing with the breath. It just seems like an interesting decision for that point.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have anything for the gun. Like the gun just runs out.
Yeah, the gun just runs out.
Yeah, the gun just runs out.
That's like the indication of whether you're making the shield or whether you're charging up for the blast.
but they never show you like you're about to run out of ammo because they had the charging stations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They used to mess me up. Like if I was in like a fire frenzy with other, I used to have fun just making shields all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I wasn't running out at all. And all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
I like except for the first part of the game, I never ran out of ammo.
So that's a very vague indication. On the gun itself, I believe, it has like a tiny little date.
Yeah, there's
And
like
it'll tell you when it's empty. And so that shows up, but it has no indication of how much you have left.
By the time your gun's empty, you're dead anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've never had an issue with ammo because whenever my gun was empty, it's like, oh, I was gonna die and refill my ammo anyway, which was inevitable to happen. Couldn't avoid it.
Yeah, going around the room. So what moments were next?
Oh, did everybody get to introduce themselves?
Well,
There's still.
Go for it.
my name's Nanan, and to be honest, I actually never played this game before. Sorry. But for the T part, I think this is like T for traumatic, and it feels like something will frustrate me. Probably. Well, the first game that actually frustrated me is Contra, but this looks like it will take the spot afterwards.
My name is Jonah. Say probably my favorite and least favorite part is just the very beginning. It just when it throws you into this completely alien world. You got the Latin from the path, which just like feels so immersive and put a lot of effort into making this different environment and stuff. But I remember when I rented this game when I was a kid, and my friend and I couldn't figure out there was a run button. We just kept getting killed. We'd be like, I don't know what's going on.
Like a death sentence.
We just gave up, yeah. But now I did play it again, actually went online, figured out how to get through it. So it was cool to see the whole game now. Also really reminded me of the old, this magazine called Metal Prolog, or Heavy Metal magazine.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was really inspired.
I was trying to figure out what it was.
It didn't have the campiness of the of like a heavy metal vibe, right? Though, like I mean, it's got like in some ways, yeah, like the fantasy in terms of like architecture and the creature design and that, but it doesn't have like like women in metal, Princess Leia bikinis, right?
It does have the room at the end, the bathing room.
Oh, really?
And not all, like some heavy metal artists were more gratuitous about that kind of thing.
Right, that's true.
Like if you looked at Mobius' work, a lot of his stuff
That's very true.
is
Yeah.
like no dialogue. You know, especially at the end here when you're like,
I did this all wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
you're
this-
still in the game, man. You're still in the game.
No, I can't run. Oh man,
Yeah.
I keep losing my my button.
Yeah, when did people hit up Google for a little advice? So for me it was in the there was like this church scene with like the stained glass windows.
Oh, that
And you
part.
had to go up a stair, and then there was this guy who anyway, what you were supposed to do, he would throw those little rolly grenade things, and they were supposed to go in the other scene and then go down the stairs and then blow up like a hole in the ground. But he had to do it more than like 3 or 4 times to
Yeah, like
create a
5
hole.
times.
Yeah, and I kept going through the sequence, and I never I never figured out that I had to like let him let him throw the balls, and then they would go and break a hole through the wall. Mainly because things usually didn't carry over to other scenes, so that was kind of new for me. But yeah, I got stuck there for about a half an hour, and then looked on the internet. So that's where I got stuck.
That puzzle though is like, it's interesting you got stuck at that one because I got stuck at the previous one before that, which is where you have the guy throwing you throw little plasma grenades, and basically the trick is you're using the door to bounce it back.
Oh yeah.
That's
He's
the one
right
that
there.
I needed to Google for help. And then once I got up to the point you were talking about, just thinking about like so far what mechanics, what little puzzles had already been introduced to the game. You start the plasma balls, and I'm like, there's got to be something to do with these. And like it was that thing. It's just like going across to the different screens. Like, at what point was there stuff that went across the screen besides like maybe the lasers? But that was like all cinematic stuff, so I never really felt like these lasers go across the screen and find out these little plasma balls. It's just kind of like I felt like the puzzles had like a very interesting logic you had to use in order to like really figure out what you wanted you to do to progress.
Yeah, the puzzles felt very polished. I think that's one thing the game shines about. They're very thoughtful. I can't. I mean, thinking of Braid. I mean, Braid had nice puzzles, but this is much different than Braid. It's more a story about the story, where Braid is more like Mario.
Braid did not have clunky controls.
I don't know if the controls are clunky. So, like, I love the gunplay. Like, you hold down and
it's pretty stiff. Because
yeah, it's pretty
stiff. Like animations have to play through; they're not interruptible. So, like, you don't feel as though the player responds to you very well.
Yeah, there were many times where the keys just straight up did not respond to me, and I have to so I have to stop aiming the gun and then move back, and then oh my god, this is gonna take a while.
Did you play it on emulator? Or did you play it on Steam?
I played it on Steam.
Okay. I felt like, and it could just be nostalgia, but I felt like when I played on Super Nintendo, it was like way more easy to control my guy.
No, I played on Super Nintendo. I had a hell of a time.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, now I'm on Steam. I feel like I can never get his animation right.
I really enjoyed the gunplay a bit because it felt like this. It's either like a rock paper scissors or like I don't know if you remember the game when you when you were kids like you'd slap down your fist or like grab your shield stuff like that. Kind of felt like that. And something that I specifically liked that the enemies did is that whenever like they came in to attack you, they would walk up, put up a shield, start shooting you, wait for you to charge your gun, then go forward a little bit and put up another shield, and stand between the two shields. And like it was just like they kept on doing that. I was like, that's like a really good tactical formation that makes it feel like they're a real military body and they're like trained.
Yeah, they would like keep advancing on you, and if you put up a bunch of shields, then every once in a while they charge their big shot and try to break your shield down.
And it really felt it was surprisingly it probably is surprisingly simple, but it seemed like it made it so immersive that like they were responding to what you were doing, and like their counterplay to what you were doing was effective.
Yeah, speaking of like combat, this makes me think of like you play Gunpoint.
Gunpoint, no, yeah.
It's like that north-style 8-bit game where like it's like a cover-based shooting, but it's kind of done 2D style. So one thing it doesn't have is like quite like the charging lasers, but if you have a few different weapons, it's like I think about that. Like doing the gunplay in this game totally reminded me of like that game super felt inspired.
Wait, are we Gunpoint? Isn't it the game where you're playing as a spy guy? Or no?
For Lincolns and stuff.
It's a PC game that came out a couple years ago, right? Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think what it reminds me of is like the old Prince of Persia game, where you've got the sword fighting, and it's very similar sort of. It feels a little bit luck-based and arbitrary, but it's very intense because like every move you make is an opportunity for the other guy to get in and hit you. So you're very careful about attacking. So you do it very defensively, and I think it's really similar here.
I definitely felt that. Also felt the other Jordan McNutt game, Veronica, like very much like this is definitely in that. I mean, Prince of Persia was an offshoot, not an offshoot, but
No, you have to go back.
What game? Erotica?
Erotica. Yeah.
Erotica.
And that one, I think, was one of the first games to introduce cutscenes. Like it. Oh my. Oh shoot.
I never drowned. What? They just show the face with the bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. You should go back to the grenade lobbing dude.
Oh, did I? I'm okay. I need to go back over here now. Yeah, like Karateka, there'd be there's a guy that with the eagle that would send goons after you, and it would cut to that in between different fights.
It looked like Prince of Persia.
It was just that the movement was really smooth in rotoscoping, but I had it on my Atari. It was like kind of slow and like you would punch like, yeah, but it was smooth.
Yeah. Not about the platforming, not necessarily about the combat. I felt, or maybe the controls in general, not just the platforming, but I felt that they were more organic. They felt more like Uncharted than they did Mario, basically. If you know what I'm trying to say. Like, like in Mario, it's like super smooth, and for example, in Uncharted, in this game, you feel like I don't know how to explain it, but you feel that there's real weight behind every move that you do.
It's more. Everything
It
feels
could
more
be.
scripted.
There is like more of a kind of like animation lead up, and that could be
like
it.
A real line to the
Yeah.
animations. There's kind of like a follow through for a lot of those animations.
Yeah.
So.
So like in it in like a.
feels more
That's
organic.
where that weightiness probably comes from, just because it's like sometimes you hit this with animation lock, it just in between like stopping to move and then actually having to like start
Yeah.
charging your gun.
If you run and you stop, you don't stop immediately.
That's
and you
true.
hit
Like,
jump.
Animation lock, you got like a millisecond worth of it. It's just like
It's not like a
little.
fighting game.
So one of the things they talk about in game design is like if you hit a button, you expect it to happen immediately, and then you want the animation to sort of follow through and make that look as smooth as possible. And probably because this was an earlier game, but yeah, if I hit jump, I've got to wind up before I actually get to jump, so that the animation it's a like a realism that later on kind of got cut from games because people want this more immediate feedback.
I think you also expect to be able to interrupt what you're doing. You know, like if you're about to shoot and you want to go left, you want to be able to, expect that you tap left and you just stop shooting and go left.
Yeah.
But I
You
guess
can just
not
open the
in-
doors if you just walk in front of them.
No, I messed that up. I don't know how to. I might just have to die.
You have to die.
Yeah, I have to I have to get the doors to open and then close on them. This is just. Yeah. Yeah.
That actually is probably.
Whoa.
Isn't that the guy you have to drop the thing on?
I think I do that and then yeah.
Oh no, that's
That's the first one.
Actually, the death resets thing. Although I do think that like the amount of times you die in this game is like really frustrating. Knowing that like to reset yourself you just have to die and there's probably some place to kill you really nearby.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait for it to get underneath.
Is it's pretty convenient.
You see the
Yeah,
you see a shadow on there.
Yeah. I have to get it,
wait. You gotta time it.
like right when he's like there.
No. You
No,
have to wait for the stop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
you
you
actually have
yourself.
to. You actually have to use sound in this part.
No, I think I can kill him. Oh wait, no, I killed the. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you have to die.
Now I have
This
to.
is a good example of like a puzzle that's only used in one place in the game. It's very unique. It required a lot of extra graphics for this guy to do.
Yeah, that's true.
And he, for some reason, he spent the time to make that. So maybe talk about the team. Like, so who, like, what was the team of this game?
One dude,
It was really
and
just one
then
guy.
another friend made the sound.
So one guy did the sound.
Yeah, and then the Super Nintendo and I think Sega Genesis ones had all the sound redone, which I actually like. I really like the Super Nintendo sound.
So that's true. So it was one guy that made this whole thing. It's kind of.
Yep.
So this is a good if you're a fan of like the auteur theory. This is a good one for that.
It's actually an interesting point. I actually never noticed that there was a shadow thing on these lamps. I just purely relied on sound, actually, and a surround headset.
Yeah. I guess back to the one guy. Like, how did he make all this stuff? Like he's using a proprietary vector engine that he kind of invented. He's obviously really good with color, like the color and feeling.
Yeah.
I don't. So the story, like, where's this story coming from? Like, there's all these unique things.
Well, I think a little bit of his story was just that a lot of this project was just kind of him working for a long time on it. I think he put it on 17 months and only got like a third of the game done. And then he really, so he did this thing where he wanted to have everything be very improvisational.
Yeah.
And kind of the way he developed the game. So I imagine it's kind of like probably just like however he was feeling was the way he wanted his game to progress, because he kind of gave himself just kind of like a blank start, and he just kind of wanted to for everything to develop as he goes, and just kind of have it be like a lot more natural.
Yeah.
So this is really like kind of more of a pet project for him, where like he definitely put like a lot of time, love into it. And then it's like at a certain point he decided he needed to give himself a deadline so that he could also get it published by Delphi. So and then it's like he kind of compared like the end of that game and like all of the tension and all of that craziness that happens. Kind of compares that a little bit to like the end of him making that game because he had to like meet a deadline and get it released.
Shoot.
Right when right when he's directly underneath?
Right when he stops.
He stopped.
Yeah, he has to stop first.
When
He'll stop for a second. You know,
Okay, and he stops in the middle.
Right there.
Yeah,
Now,
there he goes.
Now he's dead. Cool.
Yeah, the end feels a little abrupt. It doesn't. Do you guys feel like the overall narrative and length of the game? Do you feel like it's the right length, too short? Do you feel like it's a little smushed at the end? Or
Oh, yeah, I remember somebody commented
It's
that.
more heavy metal than guitar.
More heavy metal.
I feel like it's the right length, but not the right price.
Yeah, that's what one of my friends played it. He's not here tonight, but he was like, I paid $10 for this. Like, beat it in 4 hours. Like, what's up?
Yeah, I didn't feel that the game was too short for what the narrative was. It accomplished everything, but it was definitely not worth the price of admission.
It was not worth the $10. Well, what price would it be worth?
$10.
No.
What do you? Sorry?
If you were gonna, what price would you think?
Yeah, I would give it like 5.
5.
I mean, I guess another part of this is, if you play it totally cold, you don't look at any facts or walkthroughs or videos. I mean, it's going to take you a pretty good amount of time to beat this.
Yeah.
Just cold.
So, yeah, I played it in 1992, I think. No real internet or Google or anything. And it took me 3 days as like, I don't know how old I was,
So
like
it might
13
be
or something.
more value for the money if you, were to, do like internet blackout.
Experience it in its time.
Experience it in its time. Experience it without, sort of the mediation of, other players. Sort of, no Let's Plays, no walkthroughs, and nothing like that.
I mean, back in '92, it was probably like, as an SNES game, it probably cost like $50-$60.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
I'm curious though, you mentioned that, just experiencing it on blackout. I mean, again, I didn't play this back in the day. My experience of it was more or less
This
that
part's done. I think you have to shoot the lamp down. Or the chandelier down, I think.
my
Yeah, I might
experience
have
was
to.
more like,
Nope, he's still dead.
if I had to experience this by itself, I would not finish this game. Like, it's from a different time, obviously,
Yeah.
and obviously, playing stuff like, the Telltale stuff, the Firewatch, where it's just like there is a line through it, and it's very, very easy to get to the end of it. This was just like the timing-based puzzles and like the obtuse natures of some of these puzzles. Like, by today's standards, I mean, I wouldn't have finished it if it weren't for the game.
I was like obsessed with this game back
You
in
missed
the
something.
early '90s, and I never finished it. I never came close to finishing it.
Really? You were obsessed?
Well, I played it. Yeah.
You missed something. Your friend isn't coming for
Because
Oh, no!
Oh no!
it's so frustrating, so obtuse.
I think you have to shoot down a chandelier.
No, I did. It's
No, the other chandelier.
another
It's
chandelier.
more about the entrance. You just keep going to the left.
Go left?
Yes.
Had anyone ever done those like warps, those up and down elevator things before in a game? Because those are pretty innovative. Just being able to kind of warp yourself up to another level.
From what I read, apparently that came from the fact that actually just kind of doing the mapping for like the animations for going up and downstairs became very tedious. So just doing the teleporter, it fit the theme of the game really well, just because it felt super sci-fi, and it also stayed good with Center Race, so it's just been having
Yeah, it reminded me.
It looks great. They stretch
and not
out.
having to make all the animations for like walking upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks great. I mean, I've seen that used in other more modern games. Those have the teleport that
It
takes you
reminded me of
directly up.
the elevators from Super Metroid, honestly.
So you
I
do
gotta
go
block
slightly
it, block.
faster if you do a run jump. But sometimes, like, you get shot in the head by things that shouldn't have shot you. Oh,
Like that.
yeah. So what did you guys think of the ending and by that I mean, I'm about to die. You as the player are essentially incapacitated completely. Like, your arms and legs are all broken. You can't move anything. And so you're not necessarily a happy ending. Like, you're barely alive. You're just limping, like your friend carries you away. So you don't really make it out of the adventure all in one piece. Or do you get back home again?
Is there a sequel?
There's a sequel, but it wasn't made by the guy that made this. But there's a sequel. And I don't know if the sequel really wraps it up. I think you're still in the...
It's just you plays buddy.
Yeah, you're the buddy.
It's buddy's perspective.
And then, do you guys... What happens at the end of that? Do you know?
Oh, I didn't play it.
Okay.
I meant to give it a watch, but after I like kind of read a little bit, after I finished Another World, I meant to probably just give it a watch, but probably not give it a play just to see. Only because like that was done by a different developer. So I was kind of like,
Oh, cool.
well, they probably took what he was going for and probably didn't quite hit it the way he would have wanted, but I'm sure it's worth a watch.
Do you guys want to watch the behind the scenes?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let's throw it on. So, should we just put that on, and then, should we talk about the next game?
Oh, do you want to intro?
Before we put that
Yeah,
on?
yeah, yeah.
How do we want to?
Yeah. We're gonna do a segue, and we'll talk about next week for a little bit, and then we'll watch the video.
Well, So I guess I'll introduce the game for next month.
Do you want to plug
let
in?
me just pull it up. I'm just gonna show the trailer for the game. How's that?
Oh, down the hall, and then on the right. It's like yellow.
And then it's
So down the hall, and then it'll be on the right side, and you should see it. It's like one of the few doors on the right. There's like maybe 2 or 3 doors on the right, and it's big and yellow, like it's all yellow on the inside.
It's one that's not Chrissy's office.
Yeah.
Don't be in Chrissy's
If
office.
it looks like an office.
All right. So originally the game that inspired this whole club was we were trying to come up with a reason or an excuse to play Earthbound, the game, because we hadn't played that game, but we all kind of know about it. And
Is that the next one or what?
what's that? No, it's not that one, but this is a more modern game that sometimes is compared to Earthbound. It's got a lot of buzz about it right now, and it's a pretty modern one. It just came out last year.
You're not outputting.
I'm not outputting
on
it.
your computer.
I know what it is.
I'm gonna output some stuff.
You maybe need to go to your settings, or if you want, I can just play the trailer too.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's found it.
Okay, found it. All right, here we go. Think. Oh, you're not seeing anything. It's not good. It's not working. It's not working. What's going on here? I got a mirror. Okay, give me 2 seconds here. Sorry about this. Okay. Anyway.
Would the colors be there?
There we go. I gotta start from the beginning now. Yeah, so Undertale's the next game for next month. Have you guys heard of Undertale? Has anyone already played it?
I just
Okay, a few people played it. So if you already played it, like
Your month is easy.
your month is easy. I haven't played it.
Yeah, I
I've
haven't
been
either.
meaning to, so I'm really excited to do this one. But yeah, this game just has a ton of buzz right now. It's supposed to be a really good one. It's created by this guy who the only other. I mean, we just finished talking about an auteur. Yeah, no. Now we're talking about another. I don't know if he's an auteur, but he did the whole game. Not all of the games will follow like a specific theme like this, but this guy, pretty young dude, he his only other experience was he did some Flash games for this huge webcomic called Homestuck.
And he did a lot of the Homestuck soundtrack.
He did a lot of the Homestuck
Yeah.
soundtrack. So the soundtrack for this is supposed to be killer, and the game itself, it's a little hard to figure out what the gameplay is, but it's a mashup between like a bullet hell game where when you fight the bosses is kind of up there dancing, and they're throwing obstacles at you that you avoid in kind of a bullet hell like spaceship avoidance type of game.
Yeah, it's like a shmup. It's like an RPG sort of a shmup-based combat.
Yeah.
With that.
It also has like a built-in pacifist mode, right?
Yeah. So yeah, another thing is you can kill everybody, or kill nobody, or decide who you want to let live, or
Decide who lives and who dies.
yeah.
If you guys want like a really nice challenge, do genocide run.
Don't do the genocide.
Those bosses.
I'll do it because I did every other run.
Awesome, great. So yeah, let's put this on. If you guys have to take off, we're just going to show this about 20 minutes. Feel free to hang out. So usually Babycastles has a free co-working on Monday night. So from like 6 to 2 a.m., if you are working on a game or something, whatever, you can come and actually work here. But this club will be doing like once a month, usually the first Monday of the month. We're trying to get the word out through Facebook. So is that how you guys found out about it, or through the Babycastles? So we'll post the information about the next meetup on Facebook. But if you also want to give me like an email, we can send you out an email too if that's easier. And the group is open to all. So
yeah, it's just it's the Game of the Month Club at Babycastles. Anyone can sign up, and that's where we're going to keep posting these events. And we'd like it to kind of be like an open channel for anybody that wants to talk about the games as we play them as well.
Yeah, we'll probably, I guess after this meeting, we'll probably also throw up just like what games people are interested in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of. Like I said, the deal is like if you want to do a game, like if you're like, I love this game, you have to be the one that kind of leads the discussion, like John has been doing tonight. But we're open to all games.
Yeah.
We do have our own opinions of what games.
Yeah, like it's really easy to sit down and think of like a billion games that you think everybody should play. So we've got that list. But yeah, anybody that wants to lead a discussion for a month, you guys get to pick like what game you think everybody should play. And
obviously there's a small amount of like consensus. Like we can't just, if it's some random like a
Hatoful boyfriend.
What's that? Or us.
Well, I mean that kind of has some.
Palatable.
Yeah, I think so. I think we decided that if more than 50% or more people think that's a bad call, then you have to go with your second choice or something.
But we also said that if one person really feels strongly about a game, it's okay for them to present alone. Like, if no one comes. Like that's important too.
Yeah. So let's watch this.
Imposer leur nom et leur style au fil des années, marquant les mémoires au même titre que certains films cultes ou romans majeurs. Sorti en 1991 sur Commodore Amiga,
When it's all in French, of course.
possède encore aujourd'hui le même pouvoir d'éducation. Réalisé chez ses parents par un jeune programmeur graphiste autodidacte, Hanover World est l'un des rares fleurons de la production vidéoludique française. Eric Chahi, son créateur, débute dans l'informatique avec le ZX81 de son collège. Mal orienté au lycée en filière électronique, il se consacre à la programmation nocturne pendant 4 ans. C'est ainsi qu'il développe en 4 semaines sur Orica, son premier ordinateur personnel, 2 jeux qu'il parvient à vendre. Il abandonne rapidement les cours durant le développement d'un autre jeu, le Pacte sur Amstrad CPC, pour se consacrer totalement à sa passion. Il participe alors à la réalisation graphique de
Yeah, this game we didn't talk about. This was like one he did right before.
Wagers of Time?
Yeah, he plays like a guy that watches witnesses and then it's called Future Wars. It's similar, he goes to another world.
Avec le concours d'un ancien camarade de lycée pour la musique. J'ai toujours pas numérique. C'était dans le jeu, mais c'était quand même très discret, il en parlait pas beaucoup. Comme il savait que j'y connaissais rien, je ne pensais pas que ça puisse m'intéresser. J'ai découvert un jour qu'il avait fait des jeux qui étaient en vente dans le commerce. Et je le connaissais depuis déjà 4 ou 5 ans. Je n'aime pas.
We didn't talk about the button sequence when you're in the.
Oh
thing,
yeah.
buttons.
Yeah, that was sort of trial and error.
J'ai conçu les images pour que ça représente quelque chose, donc le raconter moi-même, c'est
Like with that one, maybe at least give you some time so you kind of just like mash buttons like you really don't know and then you can figure it out.
Yeah. That's how I did that one. I mashed in it. Something new lit up, then I'd mash in that area, and if something new lit up, I'd mash in that area.
Les jeux de l'époque, quand les jeux de l'époque affichaient des scores, ça permettait la performance numérique, je voulais faire du chiffre. Et là, j'ai cassé tout ça, c'est-à-dire je me suis dit, non mais ce qui m'intéresse, c'est pas d'avoir un score, moi je veux travailler sur ce qu'on ressent. C'est avec les personnages qui avaient une certaine discrétion qui confine même parfois un peu à la mélancolie, et Eric il est comme ça.
So the characters
C'est
based
l'impression qu'il donne. Alors que finalement, une fois de conscience, on peut quasiment plus l'arrêter. C'est vrai qu'il y a un parallèle entre l'aventure donc, de Lester, ce personnage qui se retrouve seul, mais vraiment seul dans un univers qui est complètement étranger. Il y a un petit parallèle avec la création même du jeu. Quelque part, au fond de moi, j'avais un sentiment de solitude. Et je pense que inconsciemment, je l'ai mis dans le jeu. L'ami extraterrestre, il ne fait rien d'autre qu'appuyer ce sentiment de solitude. Je savais qu'il était sur un jeu, donc Eric est très discret. Il nous a montré quelques fonds d'écran, il nous a montré le personnage dessiné, il a dû nous montrer l'introduction une fois qu'elle a été réalisée. Et puis c'est lui qui m'a demandé, écoute, j'ai de la place pour mettre un peu de musique, est-ce que t'as des idées? Et puis des idées, en même temps, le niveau était quand même plus haut. Il avait créé un truc très très onirique, ce qui n'était pas le cas dans ses jeux précédents. C'est comme une première œuvre, un petit peu où on met tout ce qu'on a. On a emmagasiné de la création, un pouvoir créatif pendant des années sans pouvoir l'exprimer. Et tout à coup, on donne tout ce qu'on a, comme un premier film, comme peut-être un premier roman. Je voulais quelque chose qui serve le jeu et qui soit au moins à la hauteur des pages d'émotion. Comme j'ai une manière de travailler qui consiste à partir du flou et pour préciser petit à petit les choses. Comme par exemple, je t'avais donné le repère par rapport à la musique de Retour vers le futur. Je me souviens l'avoir fait écouter et il y avait un côté une rythmique à base de caisse claire que j'aimais beaucoup parce que ça amenait un côté militaire et surtout un côté inéluctable. Quelque chose qui avance et qui ne recule pas. On avait tenté quelque chose pour la fin, pour la musique de fin. Ça n'avait jamais été fait, c'était d'avoir un solo de guitare pour la fin du jeu. Et donc on a Jean-François échantillonné des notes, mais le problème c'est que ça sonnait faux. Donc on s'est rabattu sur une dimension plus,
Yeah, for those of you that beat the game, the ending song is like super synthy. But it kind of fits the visuals.
Des bruitages de bruiteurs, sans connaître aucune technique. Par exemple, tous les bruits d'écrasement, les bruits d'os, quand un personnage se fait tirer dessus et que le squelette explose. Je me souviens qu'on avait ramené pour ce bruitage, on a tout essayé, des noirs, on voulait faire des bruitages un peu violents comme on voit dans les films d'horreur. On a essayé d'écraser des tomates, on a essayé avec des éponges. J'avais une imprimante matricielle et les imprimantes qui font un bruit pas possible. Et j'ai utilisé ce son de crépitement pour les bruits d'éclairs dans l'ascenseur de la prison. Donc ce côté du me plaisait beaucoup. On avait aussi enregistré des voix pour le langage extraterrestre, notamment le fameux Matsuba dans la prison. Matsuba. Et moi, je faisais des magnétos. J'avais déblatéré tout et n'importe quoi, mais en y mettant de l'intention. Voilà, on peut observer le personnage au fond qui est arrivé avec un effet de blur, comme des traînées typiques de ce qu'on peut voir dans certains mangas. C'est vrai qu'à cette époque-là, j'aimais Dragon Ball. Et je pense que ça a eu une petite incidence. C'est comment, avec très peu de choses, suggérer beaucoup de choses. Et peut-être que le gros pouvoir vient juste amener
Oh yeah.
C'était assez secret quand même. Ils nous montraient ce qu'ils voulaient nous montrer.
He like
Oui, mais c'est
pretended
encore
that he
là.
was spraying and he
Pourquoi
really
elle
was.
entre amis,
He pressed the button.
Oh, yeah, that guy,
Oh,
yeah.
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 C'est que
If you kill him, then you can't press the button.
montrer quelque chose à peu près
Yeah, full
fini
believer, and then Goku comes in.
voir l'effet que produisait la création sur quelqu'un qui n'avait jamais rien vu. Tu en parlais peu, hein, tu ne voyais pas beaucoup. C'est vrai que j'étais investi jour et nuit pendant plus d'un an, 2 ans, pendant 2 ans. L'histoire est supportée par les graphismes, par les décors, par le choix de couleurs restreintes, peu de couleurs flashy. Il y a une ambiance, et c'est cette ambiance globale qui raconte l'histoire en fait. Plus qu'une histoire, moi j'ai trouvé que c'était un sentiment. On a un peu le sentiment d'un monde qui touche à sa fin, qui doit s'écrouler, il doit se passer quelque chose, ou il s'est passé quelque chose, ou il y a eu une catastrophe. Parce qu'on ne sait pas dans quel monde il arrive non plus ce personnage. C'est un monde parallèle, il est dans le futur, il est dans le passé. On ne sait pas très bien où c'est, il ne donne aucune indication là-dessus. Le joueur ou le spectateur peut s'imaginer absolument ce qu'il veut. Bon, voici quelques esquisses. L'idée c'était vraiment d'aller à l'essentiel. Tout ça c'est assez dépouillé et le jeu est graphiquement dépouillé. Ça permet de travailler l'imaginaire du joueur. En fait le jeu, pour moi le jeu il n'existe pas sur l'écran, mais il existe dans l'esprit du joueur. Par exemple, le monde noir, c'est typiquement ça. C'est une forme, c'est un contour, on peut y projeter énormément de choses. On sent la masse, on sent une masse forte, on sent les muscles dans le mouvement qu'il faut, mais on n'a pas de détails. On peut tout y projeter. Et ça j'aime bien. Là-dedans, il y avait toujours cette envie de créer des illustrations. Et puis j'avais aussi un fantasme de pouvoir illustrer la boîte d'un de mes jeux. Concevoir.
I get the box art. Like, he's like, yeah.
I'm king of the world.
It's cowering.
Cette frustration d'avoir eu l'idée de la jaquette des voyageurs du temps sans pouvoir la réaliser. Il s'est ainsi rattrapé avec un overworld dont il imagine l'illustration. Il procède à de nombreux essais couleurs afin de retranscrire au mieux l'ambiance de son jeu entre rêve et cauchemar. Je dis souvent, quand j'ai vu Dragon Slayer, j'ai joué à Dragon Slayer, je le connaissais en arcade. Et j'avais pas l'idée qu'on pourrait un jour l'adapter sur un manga compte tenu des contraintes technologiques et des limitations mémoire. Je me suis dit, c'est dingue, ils ont réussi à coder les animations sur disquette. Il y avait 6 ou 8 disquettes. Et je me suis dit, ces apps-là, ça pourrait être stocké autrement qu'en bitmap, c'est-à-dire point par point. On pourrait stocker uniquement les contours. On pourrait stocker énormément de phases d'animation en très peu de place mémoire. Je me suis dit, il faut que j'écrive une routine de polygone. Et l'Amiga avait un chouette environnement de travail. Et voilà, je suis parti là-dessus. Il n'y avait rien qui existait sur le marché, donc je me suis programmé véritablement mon éditeur. Donc, il est écrit en basique, en GFA basique, pour des raisons de simplicité et de rapidité de programmation. Alors ça permettait d'éditer, de tracer les polygones, de calquer les animations que j'avais rotoscopées, de gérer la logique du jeu et de pouvoir jouer immédiatement au jeu après chaque modification, que ce soit dans les scripts ou dans l'image. Donc il y avait un système d'aller-retour immédiat qui pour certains jeux qui étaient entièrement programmés par exemple en assembleur, il fallait recompiler à chaque fois le code pour pouvoir tester le jeu. Je peux naviguer dans les différents objets qui sont constitués de polygones. Ce sont des groupes de polygones. Je peux déplacer très facilement.
et que je peux inclure dans d'autres objets. Donc ça, les graphismes sont constitués de sous-objets. Il y a une structure hiérarchique, c'est comme des poupées russes. Je crée des blocs, des briques de base, des modules graphiques, par exemple une colonne, une porte, que je pouvais assembler et réutiliser à différents endroits du jeu. Derrière cette étincelle technologique, il y avait l'envie de créer un jeu orienté science-fiction, il y avait l'envie de créer un jeu qui communique une atmosphère ressentie, qui ait une connotation cinématographique.
On n'avait pas beaucoup de jeux en 3D ou en pseudo 3D. Donc, je veux dire, c'était quelque chose. L'utilisation des polygones était quelque chose de très lourd. Hein. Et la technique d'employer permettait d'avoir de vrais effets cinématographiques. Il y a ça aussi. En plus de l'ambiance et de l'âme du jeu, il y avait une construction cinématographique du jeu. C'est très important.
So yeah, that shot I really liked, how there's people like in the foreground shooting back at you. And you can get shot, like it's not just all for show.
Oh, Karateka.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, wow. This is
Sur Karateka, Jordan Mechner avait déjà utilisé du rotoscoping. Mais je ne savais pas que c'était du rotoscoping. En fait, le rotoscoping, je le connaissais par... J'avais vu un reportage sur le Seigneur des Anneaux de Ralph Bakshi. Je m'étais dit que ça me permettrait d'aller plus vite et d'obtenir des mouvements assez réalistes. Et finalement, je ne me suis pas tant servi que ça du rotoscoping dans le jeu. Je m'en suis servi principalement pour l'animation du héros, les animations de base, c'est-à-dire la course, la marche, pour l'introduction. Alors ici, c'est les objets quelques objets qui ont servi.
The guy says he's driving a Ferrari.
C'est le modèle réduit de la voiture que j'ai dessiné pour l'introduction. Donc ça, c'est la canette qui a servi au décapsulage. Et ça, c'est l'objet le plus marrant, puisque c'est le pistolet du jeu, le pistolet laser. Plutôt que de chercher un modèle réduit, je me suis dit, bon, de toute façon, ce qui compte, c'est la forme. Ah non, mais ça n'a rien à voir avec Netherworld. Oui, il n'est pas. Ouais, donc c'est la cendre volcanique, celle-ci, elle vient de l'Etna.
J'ai rencontré Eric lorsque il est venu présenter à Tilt son jeu vidéo qui était son œuvre à lui, qui était Another World. On avait rendez-vous, il est venu vers midi à peu près. Et j'étais là, on l'a installé sur l'ordinateur qui était disponible, sur la média qui était disponible, et on a commencé à voir le jeu. Il y avait une grappe qui s'était formée autour de l'ordinateur avec Eric qui était un petit peu perdu dans la masse devant l'ordinateur en train de montrer le jeu. Et nous qui étions vraiment étonnés de la qualité, surtout de l'ambiance extraordinaire du jeu et une âme. On n'a pas arrêté de charrier Eric sur plein de trucs, parce que c'était notre boulot de le charrier, mais on savait que c'était un très grand jeu. On l'a rassuré après pour dire que c'était un très grand jeu. Tu veux? Attends, je vais pas me balader avec le petit hasard, c'est toi qui vas le petit hasard, pas moi.
Ce jeu avait particulièrement marqué, et à mon niveau personnel, ce jeu marque une étape. Et j'ai envie de créer quelque chose de particulièrement, parce que là, c'était rentré dans la 15e année, donc je me suis dit, il y a quelque chose à faire.
Pour ses 15 ans, Another World s'offre un lifting avec des graphismes et une jouabilité retouchée. Il bénéficie également de points de sauvegarde plus nombreux et surtout d'un nouveau niveau, absent de la version Amiga mais présent sur les adaptations PC et consoles sorties à l'époque. Sans oublier la réintégration à la fin du jeu de la mention d'un Another Earth qui participe encore à l'aura de mystère de cet immense classique.
Yep.
What happened after this game? He just didn't make any other games, or
Well, he made Heart of Darkness, right?
And that was like a long, drawn out kind of
There was
problem
a-
with
There's a big, I don't know that the story with it was, but I know there's a big gap between.
Yeah, that thing was in the works for like several years.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be released, and then it didn't, and then it
was ended up being released like 98 or 99. Right?
Oh,
Yeah, the buttons.
Okay, so that's hiding. So yeah, I know there's a big gap between when that came out because that was PlayStation era.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out for PS1.
It did,
It
yeah,
came
I
out
mean,
when I was in middle school, so it was like 98 or 99. I remember when that came
Yeah.
out.
and then I don't know what happened afterwards. I just later when people started getting into the game, the fan base grew around the internet.
Yeah.
Then he started getting invited to talk at like game conferences and stuff like that. And I don't know. I have no idea what he's actually working on now. If he's doing another game or not.
Yeah, what's he doing?
I think he released a game with Ubisoft. It was a couple years ago. It was an Xbox Live Arcade game, like a God game. I can't remember the name.
From Dust, I think. I never.
Is that the-
Oh really?
that's
I
what
think
it's
I've heard of
called.
that.
I never
He
played
did, he
that.
did that one? I didn't even know that.
But it was like a strategy game or something.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't play it. But I think they. Yeah, I remember reading he was working on it.
He seemed like a pretty nice guy. I like that gun, that he had actually cut out the gun. So
Uh-huh.
I'd seen those items.
He did nothing between 98 and 21.
Do you think he just was like, oh, I made my masterpiece, so now I'm going to like, kind of do something else? Or?
Yeah, like I never heard of this, but yeah, now I kind of want to check out From Dusk.
The Amiga Classics is probably just like another world put on like a compilation
Was
disc.
From Dust that game where you had to like move like dirt and
Yeah,
water?
it's like weirdly gamey, moving water.
I saw that. It wasn't too interesting.
Yeah,
And the
this-
PC port was so bad that they had to refund it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Like Batman.
Yeah.
3 out of 5 stars.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
It must not be good because usually Steam reviews are positive. No matter what the game is.
Did it sell okay when it came out? Like, I mean, I didn't buy it at the time.
Oh,
Because
Out
it
of
was
This World?
Yeah, Another
Or
World.
Another World? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like-
Yeah, I got a lot of, I think in the US less so, but I know it generally got like a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
I think it did pretty well. I think it did well enough where he didn't have to like he was making games like pretty constantly before that, and he could like take his time on the next one. Any final thoughts, you guys? Any final thoughts? Words?
The world made me think of Ico a lot, especially that
Oh.
looking out into that window.
Uh-huh.
Made me think of that big castle where you would see like a piece.
Yeah, I could see Ico being like a sort of a spiritual successor with sort of like some platforming.
There was
and
a
some-
buddy. You had a buddy.
Yeah,
You're following
and some
around.
puzzle elements. Yeah.
Sort of focus on atmosphere.
Yeah, I can do that.
It'd be really awesome if we saw like some more games kind of in that like minimalist vein, just like the style where everything's very bare bones, but because there's a lot of things that you're supposed to infer just from the game itself.
Yeah.
Recently, some good example like Witness kind of does that. Have you heard of Witness?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like some there's games where it's like there's like a subversion of expectation because it's kind of puzzly, but then it's like there's just this like kind of this more you can get from the game. If you really like look into it. Kind of like with this, it's a lot of this game. It's kind of like
Yeah.
it's a lot of it's a lot of the creator's story, but I'm just he put himself into this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so it's atmosphere-wise, and the fact that it's sort of like it's mostly single screens that then cut and you go on to the next screen. Don't Look Back by Terry Kavanagh. He's the guy that did Super Hexagon. This is one of his free games he made a while ago, but if to me it sort of reminded me of it.
This and Another World are actually really similar. That's where it's totally forgot.
I gotta pick this up. This is an Android game.
You can just play it online.
It's like Flash.
Yeah, it's a Flash game. You can just free Flash games.
Yeah.
Another game in art style like Proteus, but obviously from first-person perspective, but it seemed kind of flat. Kind of
Proteus?
Proteus.
Okay.
I know that there's two games called Proteus, and I know which one you're talking about, but I'm not sure how to spell it to distinguish it.
Cartoon shmup, right?
Yeah, there's a cartoon shmup, and there's another one you're talking
I'm
about.
not talking about cartoon shmup.
Yeah. How do you spell yours?
Proteus.
Oh.
I see what you're saying.
Oh, the
Atmosphere-wise.
one where you walk around. It's like a generative world.
Yeah, it's very much an experience. It's like a walking simulator, I guess, but it's like very little story except very environmental.
Is there any story? Because I've heard it described as almost pure virtual tourism.
There's a story, but I guess it's almost like a weird kind of Rorschach test. Like you look into it, and I played. I'm like, oh, this is a great little story about the cycle of life and stuff like that. And everyone's like, yeah, it was just an island.
The story is what you make of it.
It's kind of in a sense. Yeah.
I know
Flashback.
Oh, Flashback.
It's just another game really similar. Same publisher, same develop. The studio was the same that released it, but it was made by different people.
There was a sequel to this called Fade to Black that was really, really bad. I hated that game so much.
This one was great though. I played through that one. That one was kind of like Total Recall, the game.
Mm-hmm.
The guy loses his...
All I remember is super clunky polygons and not being able to get past the first area.
Oh, in this one? In Flashback?
No, in the sequel.
Oh, in the sequel.
Fade to
Okay.
Black.
Yeah. Yeah, Flashback is another game made my brother play a lot when I was little and beat. But similar thing is single screen, rotoscope style animation. This one felt like way longer after Out of This World. There's a part where you have to get a job.
You're on a game show to win a ticket out of space, and it's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, The Running Man, or some movie where you gotta recall.
Mm-hmm.
No, the one where you gotta compete to your death.
Yeah.
Win money.
Mm-hmm. But this one had kind of an interesting control scheme where there was a button. You did things differently whether your gun was out or not out. So if your gun was out, you'd kind of creep more like a spy, and if it was away, then you'd run and you'd move a lot faster. So there was an actual get your gun out, put your gun away button.
And the gun was so satisfying. Because it was all rotoscoped also, and the animation and the sound, and I think they had the cartridge around.
That was actually, this is the first game I noticed where when you shot, you didn't see the bullets, but you saw the shells come out of the gun. And then you just you knew that those bullets were killing things because of their reaction. But before, you actually saw big glowing, Contra, big glowing bullets all over the place.
In Flashback, we had the nice, in Another World, we had the nice laser.
Yeah.
The sound effect in Flashback was cool though.
Yeah.
This also had a lot of death scenes that were... I played it on Philips CDI at the time. at Best Buy, I think. I playing, and I remember the pre-rendered scenes were pretty good.
Yeah. And it also had in the same vein, it also had, those pre-rendered cuts, picking up something, looking at something. Yeah. It would always cut to a little rotoscope animation sequence. Another thing I liked about this game is it was one of the first games I played where, and I think I borrowed this from Prince of Persia, where if you jumped near a ledge, you could hold on and then pull yourself up.
Yeah, this feels a lot more like Abe's Oddworld than I think Another World did.
Uh-huh.
So Another World feels more like the Dragon Slayer game, where it's more about the narration and the failing.
The failing, yeah.
Like failing a lot.
Limbo also is really similar to this
game. Yeah.
That's probably the most directly influenced one I can think of.
Yeah, with the modern the 2D physics engines, now this genre's kind of moved into that space, like the Limbo or even Braid, where they can do the physics puzzling.
Oh yeah, Limbo.
Yeah. So and that actually reminded me one of my first experiences playing Limbo was a lot like my experience playing Another World where I was with friends and they're like suggesting things as you play, like, oh, try this. Oh, what if you go back this way? And yeah, that happened a lot with Another World, and that happened a lot with Limbo too. Like, what if you pull that or drag this? And it's platformer, but like you get to little bits and like you have to figure them out puzzle wise, like pulling the spider's leg out and flipping the trap and things like that.
The physics engine like, at least makes it feel a bit more like gamey and less clunky.
Yeah.
So like it's not so like jarring for the interactivity.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you feel like you actually there's not like just like set places where you do things, but you have to move through them. It's more of a gradient instead of just like points that you have to get to.
Yeah. And Limbo is also super atmospheric. Yeah, like in Another World, we talked about using a really muted color palette. And
the color palette's amazing.
Yeah.
I always think the French art. It's the only. I mean, that and Rayman. Are the big French games.
It actually. I don't know if you guys have ever watched there's a behind the scenes documentary on The Fifth Element. And the drawings for like the cityscapes remind me of his drawings for like the world.
Oh right, what was the director for?
I don't know. Also a French
it's the guy that did The Professionals.
Yeah.
He's done like every did
every good French movie.
He did that. He's like the best fighting action.
Yeah, and what's funny is he wanted to make The Fifth Element, and they were like, well, we're not going to give you a budget. Prove that you can make a movie, and then he made The Professional, which is like amazing. Yeah. He was only making it so that he could actually do the movie he really wanted to do. Professional was like his throwaway movie.
Yeah, he's great. He's a French treasure. Yeah, I'm surprised France is their industry is not like pumping out games so much because they have a lot of really educated people. They have, they have computer programmers over there. I feel like their industry should be larger, or there should be more of like these auteur types floating around there.
So this is another super duper old game that really reminded me of Out of the World. It's called Journey to the Planets, and it's so basic that you really have to use your imagination to see what's going on. But it's single screen. There's sort of some platforming and some puzzles, and you're just a dude from outer space with a gun trying to collect a treasure on each planet. But each planet has like kind of a different weird mix of things, of puzzles on it that you have to like get by. So this is another game I played on my Atari 800. Yeah, if you're into games where you really can't tell what's going on visually, really worth checking out. Like some of the puzzles are just like, I don't know what this object I picked up really is supposed to be.
Well, that's kind of par for the course with like really Atari. Like, remember on Atari 2600 was like the Raiders of the Lost Ark game, which was supposed to be like a object manipulation puzzle, but nobody could tell what the heck the objects were. So.
Yeah.
So now that genre is kind of dead, we don't make games like Flashback or Another World. Like, oh, go ahead. Like, is it this seminal work in that genre?
I feel like it's evolved into the Metrovania.
Oh, Metrovania. Oh, Metroid. Yeah.
I think the Metrovania genre is sort of the successor.
Yeah, or Castlevania.
But that's much more branching and more open than something
There's
like
no puzzles. There's no
Another
puzzles
World.
in that. No.
Well, there are puzzles, but it's more like a sequence type of puzzle. You have to get this item.
Yeah,
to
get this thing in this spot to
and then
unlock
you have to
this
get the
thing.
air jump to get to this door. To get to this area to get an item for this.
It's closer to Mario than it is.
Yeah.
Like,
what about something like, I've not actually played it, but like Uncharted or something, like sort of cinematic 3D?
Yeah, I can see Uncharted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it has a certain sort of set piece kind of design to it, where you sort of move from one sort of sequence to another. So I can see sort of an Uncharted lineage coming back from this.
I felt like in Super Metroid there were certain sequences though that really felt cinematic, and I don't know if I can find a picture, but for you guys that have played through it, there's one part where you have to detonate a bomb inside a glass tube to get to an area.
I like that part.
Yeah, and that feels sort of out of this world.
Yeah, that is.
There's no real clues that that's what you're supposed to do there, and if you just happen to do it, it's like...
If you leave the start menu. Like I remember back in the day, like little gameplay sections would play, and you just like left it on. They blow up the glass tube and one of the
yeah.
So
I-
that's apparently how you're supposed to figure it out.
Okay,
I got stuck. I had to look it up.
I never knew that. I was just goofing around, but I do remember leaving it on the attract mode essentially,
Okay.
and seeing the scene where she like turns into like kind of a fireball and everything recharges.
Yeah,
and that's something I had no clue about. And then I saw happen like, how do I figure out how to do that? But
It was also hinted in the Nintendo Power Super Metroid comic.
That is very obscure.
They basically spelled out how to do that particular move in the Nintendo Power comic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That is, those are some obscure ways to like get some.
Well, it's not too different from like Metal Gear Solid. Look on the back of the CD case.
Yeah, but that's like oh, you have to. The game tells you have to look at the CD case. It's like oh, here's a bunch of like moves you don't need to beat the game, but they're kind of cool. You just
And
gotta
the
learn
same thing
about
with
them by
the wall-
figuring shit out.
The wall jump, for example, those little critters, at the bottom of the tube, they teach you how to jump up and grab the wall.
Yeah, the running creature and like the wall jump creature.
Or that ostrich guy teaches you how to do the jumping move.
So I always felt bad that you blew up the planet and leave them behind.
No,
but then I found
they
out.
can get on your ship. They can get on your ship.
Then I found out there's a way to like get them.
And that
just
ending
save
is
them.
canon, by the way, because they come back in Metroid Fusion.
The
Yeah.
Sort of like the climactic moments of Super Metroid are actually really similar to the end of Out of This World.
Yeah.
Because it's a similar situation where you're put into a very helpless position, and your buddy comes and rescues
That's
you.
true.
At the last
That's
minute.
true. Yeah, you're essentially dead.
Spoilers. Sorry.
Yeah, the grapple beam.
Like learning about this game. Like if, I don't know if you guys keep up with like AGDQ and how they always have a Super Metroid race at the end. It was interesting to learn that so many like of the tricks in the game were intentionally put there.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many of like the sequence breaking and like all the little secrets that you think is like, oh, I'm breaking the game, but it's like no, you never wanted that. And like you just had to be smart enough and skilled enough to be able to do it. And that I think was really cool.
Like the reverse boss order run or something?
Yeah, the reverse boss order run.
That stuff is crazy.
Like the 1% run. Like,
Oh, what's the reverse boss? You can do all the bosses in the wrong order.
Well, you can't do the Mother Brain out of order.
Uh-huh.
You basically start out with Ridley, and then it's Ridley, the underwater guy, and then the ship guy, and then Kraid at the end. So you have to basically go do underwater stuff without the gravity suit and lava stuff without the various suit. It's pretty insane.
So you do Ridley the first.
Yeah,
the
you do
first
Ridley
boss.
first.
Wow.
and like stuff like that is the reason like Metroid is my favorite series of games, or specifically the 2D ones.
Yeah, it allows you to sort of make your own game out of the game.
Yeah.
All the speedrunning challenges and stuff like that.
Super Metroid is also like super atmospheric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot like
Yes.
Out of
Yes.
And very little dialogue.
Very little
There's
Yeah.
There's sort of I guess you call it a voiceover at the beginning where she
Yeah.
tells you the story in case you didn't play the other games.
Uh-huh.
And that's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Everything
sure,
else is very gestural and very implied.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Nintendo plays Other Worlds.
Oh yeah.
Also that sense of isolation. Like, you're just the one person here, maybe some companions, but you can't talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows you how to run.
The only other humans you find are like dead.
Yeah.
Like,
There's the
only other live
corpses.
things are-
Yeah, there's a couple of bodies.
Yeah. Yeah. There's corpses, and I remember like some of the things you'd touch would like just turn into dust.
Oh, that makes you think of the Nausicaa, the Wind or something.
Mm.
The Miyakaze film where there's this forest with all these dead bugs that are kind of petrified
Uh-huh.
and they turn to dust.
Oh yeah. Also,
But
Yeah, those are the only other humans in the game, I think, are those guys.
the scientists.
yeah, they did
There's
say.
like-
Dead.
There's like a
Ridley killed.
There's like 2 or 3 troopers that you find dead near the other
Oh,
spaceship.
yeah, you're right. I knew that.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. Well, maybe somebody will have us do Super Metroid.
Yeah, I
sometime.
mean, this is a good one. This is a good
Yeah.
example of a different culture. Like this is Japan doing like science fiction.
Yeah.
And like the guy like
He was a
Fran-
big fan of Aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
big
like a
alien.
huge fan of Aliens. That's
It's
why.
It's a very good game.
Yeah. That's why Ridley's named Ridley
She said
after
never
Ridley
finished
Scott.
it.
And then I guess like it's an American sci-fi game, probably Half-Life 2, where you go through a portal or you go into another world.
Oh yeah, there's that
or,
guy.
or the first
Forgot
half.
about that guy.
Yeah, there's that corpse.
But that could be non-human though. I mean, that could be like some alien in a suit.
Yeah, but he's still getting like eaten on.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little bits of atmosphere. I really love them.
Yeah.
Or the Chozos, but they're not your friends in this game.
No, some of them are. Just the one you get kind of pissed off when you take his bombs.
Oh.
But there's a way to skip that fight.
That's got a shell there.
Is there a way to skip it, really?
Yeah, it's a speedrunning trick that if you just do your speed just right, you can get the bombs and then simultaneously jump out of the door before the door locks and he comes to life. It's doable in real time. I've seen people do it. Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, let's go, Andy.
Something that I always enjoy about like Japanese game design is that they always knew how to do like non-exposition atmosphere a lot better than Westerners. And, another one of my favorite series is the Silent Hill series, and that just oozes atmosphere. And Resident Evil, like the first three, also just ooze atmosphere. And another Shadow Colossus just oozes atmosphere. Like,
Yeah.
There's so little talking or like text or any kind of dialogue in that game, but like there is so much story to it.
Yeah, and that's and we talk about Ico. You know, that's
Yeah, we talk about Ico.
same guy.
Yeah. Well, I think that a Western game that did atmosphere right was actually a Metroid game, the Prime series.
Oh yeah,
That was Western.
Yeah.
It wasn't
The Retro
they,
Studios.
I mean, it was inspired by original IP. It was from Japanese development.
they supervised it, yeah.
But if you're working in the brand, I feel like it's you got to follow the story.
They're working for Nintendo. Nintendo
It definitely has a lot more Western FPS elements to it.
As that series dragged on, like more of the Western influence, like more characters were introduced, more talking, and it's just like.
Yeah, the first game I think it nailed the atmosphere.
Oh yeah,
Second
when you jump into the water, you put beads off the visor, you know.
Yeah, but then the second game had this one dude that talks to you throughout the game, and then the third game had everyone talking.
Oh,
I never played the third one, but
what series is that?
Metroid Prime.
Oh, Metroid Prime. Okay.
One of my favorite things from like the first Prime is that if you like did a charge beam like on a wall like right in front of you, like you this close to the wall,
You can see your
You can see a reflection.
you
Yeah.
can see the reflection of your face.
That's another game which has like a huge speedrunning community up to this day too. To see the original Prime.
Yeah.
That and Super Metroid for whatever reason, like really major speedrunning.
So it's designed for speedrunning. It's just
Yeah,
So it's not, but at the same time, it's not. There's no speedrun mode. Like you have Mega Man 9 is a speedrun mode. This doesn't. This should have been co-opted as like a secondary production kind of thing. You know?
Yeah, I would say that the first Prime game was the one that nailed the Super Metroid feel perfectly. There's Ico.
Yeah. I was just showing trailers.
such a fantastic game. I love that game.
Yeah, maybe someone should do this one too. I've actually never played this game or Shadow of the Colossus, but it's on my bucket list, and that's one of the reasons why we started the club was to get through the bucket list. Yeah.
This is my favorite game of all time. It is absolutely superb.
Mm-hmm.
I played it for a little bit last year. I didn't get to finish it because.
Well, maybe you should lead the group after we do Undertale.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
a lot of things on my bucket list, so I didn't really get the opportunity to finish it, but I'm looking for a good excuse to do that. Another game that I really am looking for an excuse to play is Chrono Trigger. I don't know if we're.
Oh yeah, we should do that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, one problem, one thing with Chrono, like so, let's say we do a big game like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI. Like, how do we do that over 2 months or?
You can beat Final Fantasy 6 in 1 month.
Yeah, you can, but most people played this like last night.
You
gotta play it like.
at 8 o'clock this morning.
Yeah. So
No, it's like
you can't do that with Final Fantasy.
No, it's like that's what I was thinking. And Chrono Trigger, I never personally played it, so I'm looking forward to play it. But I've heard that it's pretty short for an RPG. That you can beat it in like 15 hours.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't
It always
know.
takes me a while.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, if you like know what you're doing.
Yeah, that what is that game? What is it called?
How long to beat that?
No, that thing you were talking about, the doing games fast.
Speed.
Also games quickly.
Yeah, also games done quick.
Yeah,
You do
maybe.
speed runs of games. But no, it's not like it's a speed run thing. It's like a regular thing. It is a short RPG. It's not a long one.
I think that like anything like under 15 hours would be doable in like a month.
Chrono
That
Trigger's
seems reasonable.
all killer, no filler.
I heard the artist for this game was the same for like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the same guy that inspired that ball at the end of the game.
Yeah.
One of the characters is just literally long.
Only like not annoying. Are you like you're talking about Luca, right?
Yeah, she
I love Luca. Luca's awesome.
The same look, her hair, she does gadgets, like.
Yes, some characters look very similar, like Chrono's Goku. It's really too obvious.
But he's got red hair and a sword.
Yeah.
This is Dragon Ball Z.
That's very.
Oh, it's not. It's Chrono Trigger.
Oh, you literally thought it was
the green guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the redhead, I don't remember her name, but yeah.
That's Luca, yeah.
Yeah.
He did the characters. So if we did a game like Chrono Trigger, like would a month? I don't think a month is enough time. So you have to split it into 2 months, or how?
Well, we could say let's try for a month and then see how far people get. Maybe that's one where we can do a midway.
Or we could do something shorter, like something that's maybe like another like 2 or 3 or 4 hour game, and then just be like continue try to get Chrono Trigger done for 2
Yeah.
months.
So do 2 games and one should take you like less than an hour and one. Yeah.
One could be like in a night, the other one could be like 2 months.
Yeah, I think that's totally reasonable.
Yeah, what if you had 2 games in a row?
Do you think people could do 2 games at once? I mean, it's a lot of multitasking. They gotta.
Well,
like a short game for like the first month.
Yeah, the other one could be like
Let's say we
super
have,
short.
We want to do this game for like the next coming one, and then just do a shorter game, and then for the longer game, that would be for the upcoming one. And we could just have them both at the same time, so at least if it's an RPG, we have 2 months to do it.
Yeah.
But we're already scheduling 2 months in advance anyways.
Yeah, that might work.
Cool.
Undertale for next, right?
What?
Huh?
Undertale for next.
Yeah, Undertale's next month, so we'll post.
Yeah.
We'll post that up on the Facebook.
We'll post the event and
then
you'll,
I guess
you'll do a little write up.
Yeah, I'll write something up about it, and then I guess we'll. Did anyone here get emails, or was anyone on the Babycastle residency thing? So most people saw it on the Facebook. Okay, that'll.
I saw it on the email.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll still send it out on the Babycastle thing and the Facebook.
Yeah, we'll send it on the
Yeah.
co-working and then we'll post it to the Facebook group.
I mean, if you guys have friends that don't have Facebook or something, we can email them also.
One thing to consider is you can already like as of now queue up a long game like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI 2 months from now because Undertale is actually pretty short. It's like 4.5 hours long or something like that.
Yeah, it's a short one.
If you think you're like completionist, it's like besides
Even if you're a completionist, maximum 7 hours on Undertale.
there you go. My first run through it was 8, and then Pacifist was like another 4. Genocide was a week.
Yeah, I think
the hard bosses.
I think maybe we should do Undertale solo just in case we want to. Like, I've never played it, but I'd love to try to play every mode. Yeah.
It's really just deciding if you're capable of beating genocide. Like both like skill wise and morally.
I definitely would not recommend it as your first run.
Well, do you pacifist first run?
Yeah. First of all, those characters are too good for you to just kill on your first run. Second of all, are you really willing to spend the next month just fighting one boss or 2 bosses?
I think with Undertale, for your first run, the most important thing to do is just follow your heart.
Literally?
Yeah, it's like the bosses of Genocide are pretty hard too, so you would want to play the other modes anyway.
But with Chrono Trigger, I think Regardless of if we decide to do it, you should just play Chrono Trigger.
Yeah. You haven't played Chrono Trigger, there's something
No,
wrong with
no
you.
excuses.
I haven't played Chrono Trigger in years. I would love an excuse.
Yeah, I still have my original card for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
I don't know if it
like,
still works.
Okay.
Yeah, well, great. Thanks for everyone coming out. So we'll probably this is it's first time.
Yeah, I think we did pretty good.
This is awesome.
We're probably gonna have the next meeting.
It'll be either the first. It'll probably be the first Monday of next month.
Yeah, so it'll probably be whatever April 2nd.
April
I think is
2nd.
the
But
Monday.
we got to check, make sure there's not like another thing going on.
But it'll be stuff on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And if you guys have never been, has anyone ever been here to Babycastles? So it's like a strange video game art gallery, and they have like art and games. And but they do have co-working on Monday night. So any Monday night that you're in the city, you can pop in here with a laptop and just work on stuff from 6 to 2 a.m. So a lot of people are just working on their games or other random stuff.
So yeah, any Monday you can come in here and chill, and we'll probably be here also working on our games too.
Great.
Cool.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the room.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks.
That's how it works pretty well.
Yeah. Now we're just live streaming Chrono Trigger anime.
Why not, right?
Yeah. Check out Babycastles Twitch. It's just Chrono Trigger.
I'm pretty sure those cutscenes.
All right, man.
I'm pretty sure those cutscenes never actually.
Thanks. These weren't in the Super
Yeah,
Nintendo.
they were. They were not in the Super Nintendo.
They had it for the PlayStation.
I'll catch you later, man.
It was like the.
Thanks for coming.
It was like the DS version or something like that.
No, the PS.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was PlayStation. Like everything needed some full motion video when that
Yeah,
first
they
came
did
out.
even
They
for
really
like
wanted
Final
to push
Fantasy VI when they ported that. They completely butchered the game, but they added like 2 FMVs.
it. Uh-huh.
I paid another $40 for it.
Cool. All right, let's stop the stream somehow.
Oh, so you're streaming that whole thing? Does that stream get recorded?
You know what? I don't. It can, but I don't think I didn't hit that button.
Next time we'll have to.
Yeah. I was too frantic, but I wanted to.